Hello, my name is Pineda. I am a copywriter and a marketing consultant. And today I'm starting a new series where I will be sharing different tips and strategies so you can develop your own storytelling and copywriting based content. And there are many reasons why you want to do that. I will specifically pinpoint 3. And of course, as I go through the different series, I will be elaborating in those and even mentioning more. But today, just to be to the point, I'm going to say that you want to create content because this is going to help you positioning yourself online. And you want to do this because by creating content, your positioning is more organic. What that means is you don't have to invest as much money or as much resources. Of course, what you do have to do is to create the content, and it does entail some investment in time and as well as giving it a thought about what you're going to talk about. But online positioning is key for what you want to achieve. And then the next reason why you want to create content is because you want to start your own references. Creating content is going to help you leave a digital footprint, and this digital footprint is going to help you or is going to help your future prospects, your future clients in their decision-making process in case they are, because at some point they will be looking for references and evaluating whether you would be the right person to do what it is that they need to hire you for, all right? And then third and last but not least, the third reason why you want to create your own content is because this is going to help you develop a rapport, develop or establish a connection with with your future prospects even before they get to know you. They're getting to know you as they read from you or as they hear or see what you have to say. All right, so now let's get into the first task. So the first task, the first piece of content that you would be creating would be the one where you talk about what you do and why you do what you do and what brought you here, what took you here, okay? So it goes something like this. For instance, if I were to do that with myself, I would say something like this. Well, my name is Pineda. I am a marketing consultant and a copywriter, and I have been in the marketing field since 2002. But I should say that I actually started doing marketing without me knowing, of course, but I started doing marketing since I was in junior high school and then in senior high school because I was very active in school affairs, in students affairs, organizing events and doing different things that where collaboration was required, and I love that part. Eventually I learned that you could actually do those things professionally through marketing. And when I was getting ready to enroll in university, I was actually about to check the box about the career, the major that I was about to select. And to be honest, I actually selected to study or to enroll in the business administration major because I had attended a senior high school where I actually gained a technical career in business administration. So to me, it made a little bit more sense at that moment to go into business because I had already studied a little bit of business, and I thought, well, I will eventually get into marketing because in the last part of your major you can select a specialty, and so I actually went into the business school initially, and I've been in the marketing field ever since. Then why I got into this activity? Well, actually, the first part of my career, I was working in business administration. I was an administrative assistant, and then I got my first job where marketing was required, and it was actually very, very interesting because they told me this is actually going to be a job which is going to be like a hybrid. So you're going to be doing administration or business administration, like 50% of your time, and then the rest of the time, the other half, it's going to be mainly about marketing. I was like, okay, that's perfect. That's exactly what I was looking for. So in this first job where I started getting into the marketing field, my first assignment was preparing the launching of the office that I was working on. And it was a very, very interesting and very challenging activity, because this was going to be the grand opening of our office, and I had to make sure that we had all the key contacts that we needed. We needed people from the sector that we were working with, specifically, of course, government, and other key people that we wanted to have there. And so I was like, okay, that's a no-brainer. I will find the right people. And then I had to go into the catering and find the music and find the venue and whatnot. So it was, needless to say, a great event. And after that, of course, I started getting involved in a larger scale events, in organizing events where I had to bring buyers into the office, or prepare events for buyers where they would meet suppliers, and there was a lot of back and forth between Mexico and the US, and people, buyers delegations and whatnot. And I was also working in establishing the office itself, because as I mentioned, this was the grand opening of the office, and my boss told me at the time, you are going to have to learn all of these procedures, and then you're going to have to come back to the office and establish them and make sure everybody knows them and that everything's running smoothly. It was like, perfect, I'm going to be doing that. So I did that for several years, and I was also able to get training in different locations. Of course, I was trained here in Mexico, but then I also had the opportunity to travel multiple times to the US to get training, and then to bring that information back and disseminate it in my office, or to put it into practice by developing these activities or organizing these events. And then eventually all that prepared me to what became one of the greatest work experiences that I've had. I collaborated in a special assignment where I was assigned to go to the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, where I was going to train local employees who were newly hired, as well as to organize international cooperation events, which it was great to me. When they told me this is what you're going to do, I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I've been doing, all along. And then I was going to have to, in a way, put this into practice, but in this, in a conflict environment, of course, which entailed certain degree of risk. But I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'll do it. And it did end up being a great experience, a great learning experience for myself, and which actually made me think into different things where I could bring value, to my workplace. And well, that was back in 2008. And then eventually, in 2015, I started, I left that organization, and then I started working on my own as a marketing consultant and as a copywriter. And since then, I've been collaborating in different projects with different companies, working in different types of activities to support their marketing efforts. All right. Okay, well, that's how it would go for you, more or less, talking about what you do and why it is that you do. And of course, the reason why you want to do that is because you want to establish connection with your target audience. All right, well, thank you very much for your attention. If you enjoyed this content, I would love for you to follow me in my different channels. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave you here with some links where you can download some references so you can develop what we just went through and apply it to your own content development strategy. Thank you very much, and talk to you soon. Goodbye.